Not so great ending to what's been a great year for Team Teal. Sharks drop the second half of a back-to-back in LA, 3-2. They did make it interesting late. That's a good thing, right? Soak in the SJ-LA rivalry right now because it's going to be all done by the end of January. Who came up with that schedule? Um, it has been a great year though for the Sharks. 65 wins in total, too short back in June of hoisting the cup. So hey, welcome to Chompin' New Year's Eve. I'm Chris Clark here with Puckkai Seacrest and Fergie Backhander. I'd like to remind you we are here every single game, every single one. So if you like what we do, or if you hate it, subscribe below. There's a nice little button down underneath. If you are listening on audio or want to listen on audio, we are on SoundCloud, Stitcher, MySpace, Google Play, Zanga, and probably a few other things I am not even aware of. So check us out on all those. Literally make accounts on every one of those services and subscribe. It's awesome. We are sponsored by audible.com. We have a free 30-day trial for you waiting. If you go to audibletrial.com/PAD, you can choose from over 180,000 audiobooks and get a free one to keep, whether you like to continue using the service or not. So, hey, check it out. audibletrial.com/PAD. You get a free book. You help support the show. Almost everyone wins. The Sharks didn't win tonight, but hey, you can't have them all, right? With that, I would like to invite you to join the Chompversation. I did it for you, Eric.
Thank you.
You can follow all of us on Twitter. You follow every single one of us. I'm at ChrisJWS. He is at PuckGuy14. She is at RBackhander76. You can also follow at Pucknology. Tweet at us. Tell us we're terrible. Tell us we're awesome. Just, tweet at us either way. And you can use the hashtag PucknologyAD. I think that's everything. With that, let's get into it. So first, introducing my compadres here. As mentioned before, Fergie Backhander for Chompin' New Year's Eve tonight, co-hosting. And then we have Puckguy Seacrest. So both of you, how you doing? Start with Eric. How you feeling about tonight's game?
This is American. No, sorry. Well, it was very lackluster on the start. It was not the greatest start, not the greatest second period. Good third period, but you had a nice couple of teaser goals that the Sharks are known for. Unfortunately, not enough to get into it tonight, and well, a sour end to the calendar year, but a good year for the Sharks nonetheless.
Definitely. Rocket, what was your takeaway tonight?
My takeaway tonight is everybody got what they deserved. The end.
And they all lived happily ever after or something. I don't know.
I didn't get that far into the book, TLDR.
Quick version. Kids these days can't read more than a tweet at a time. Jeez.
Considering that we were playing the Kings, of course it would be a fairy tale.
Yeah, the Sharks winning the cup. There's your fairy tale. But I don't know. Yeah, there was a lot to unpack in this game because I think it was kind of three very different periods. The first period where the Kings kind of jumped on them a little bit. They were kind of lackluster. Some people are saying effort. I think it might have been tired legs and the Kings pushing the pace early, and then second period they kind of slowed it down. And I think what they want to do from the get-go is have the Kings play their pace, and then third period they made a game of it. Unfortunately, that just 2 goals with the Kings when they have their legs and the Sharks don't, that's pretty close to insurmountable. The Kings defense is not that great, but they're still a very good possession team either way. I don't know. What did you think about that, Rocket?
Chris, I'm very sorry. I was arguing with Ian in the chat about something I had said earlier. Could you please repeat the question?
No, I was just saying it was kind of a three different acts. Each period was kind of its own thing. First period, Kings jumping on the Sharks a little bit. Second period, you had a little more even play. The Sharks kind of slowed it down and got it to their pace, and then third period they started pushing back.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Okay, so here's one of my fun analogies because I like to do this.
Does this involve half chubs?
No, no, this involves power tools. Okay, so
Same thing.
power tools or motorcycles, basically you have two-stroke engines and four-stroke engines. Stuff like dirt bikes and chainsaws are two-stroke engines. Generally, you have to mix the oil and the gasoline. They're a pain in the ass, but they have a lot of high-end torque. They can get a lot done, but they're not necessarily good for long distance or endurance tasks. Just something that you need a lot of power for in short bursts. Whereas if you've got a four-stroke engine, there's something like every giant truck that's ever been and ever will be, and I'm completely generalizing here, and I know it, and I apologize. Ever has been and ever will be, so ever as long as physics will ever be. They're geared to have this. Not only do they have a little bit of high end torque, but most of their heft is in the back end, and all of their higher gears and stuff. That's really where they start to find their power.
This is going to be related back to hockey at some point, right?
Yes, exactly. So the LA Kings are like a chainsaw, and the Sharks are like one of those gigantic Caterpillar trucks that's like 6 stories tall and weighs 50 tons and is only good for like two things, and they're used in like, I don't know, Chilean diamond mines or something like that. That's what it is. And if you look at them side by side, the chainsaw's going to whoop ass every time. And that's all. So yeah, it made sense to me.
I think to some extent, I think it's partially also the Kings were more rested too, because I think that we've seen the Sharks can beat the Kings. I think they're 3-0 before tonight against them.
I don't know.
Or was it 3-0 or is it 2-0?
You can say the same thing about the Sharks, though. We've seen them going up against teams that have had rest, where the Sharks are on the second night of their back-to-back, and they just go in like gangbusters and redeem themselves for whatever they've done. Also, LA was on a 5-game losing streak, so they maybe not only were rested, but they had a little bit more angst in them than generally associated with just being an LA King. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of angst, cocaine, puck guy.
That's what I was calling it.
But here's the thing: they just came off of a long road trip, albeit they made a pit stop for the Christmas break. But they lost to Vancouver and Edmonton and Dallas.
Well, if you lose to Vancouver, you better be angry.
You lost. You essentially lost 4 in a row to teams that I think. Well, now with LA leapfrogged Dallas tonight, but I mean, you lose to Dallas, Vancouver, Edmonton. I mean, 2 of those 3 teams are in a playoff race, but you're not making any ground. And they had 1 day off, BFD. They were coming off of a road trip, and it just seems like they were well prepared and ready to go. I mean, sure, yes, the Sharks had to take that hour-long flight to LA last night.
Hey, dude, if you've been to LA, that place is exhausting to be around just in general.
Oh, sure.
They don't even go into the main airport. They go into the little private terminal that's next door.
They go into like John Wayne or something.
No, it's got to be maybe Burbank, if anything.
No, there's a private. You know how like there's a private airfield that they take off of, that is just on the other side of the road from San Jose. So. Yeah, they have little executive airports here and there that they fly into.
Fancy, must be nice. I mean, and again, I don't think we're not trying to make excuses for them saying, they played it. I think the Kings probably has slightly fresher legs, and the Kings, when they're on, they are a dominant possession team, and the Sharks are the same way. They hog the puck, and when 2 possession teams play and one team is able to get the puck more often, it's usually going to equate to that team stamping another team and looking really ugly, because both of them are used to playing with the puck, and when they don't, it's usually pretty bad for them. I mean, That's
Yeah.
obvious statement is obvious, but some teams aren't as dependent on long stretches of possession. Some teams play a little more 50-50 and get their scoring through other means, but the Sharks kind of big part of their game is hold on to the puck because that keeps the other team from scoring, and the more time you have it, the more likely you are to score.
Wow, so the Sharks got out-sharked tonight, huh?
The two, they're not exactly the same, but there's some similarities between the Sharks and the Kings.
Do you
Kings
think
play a little
that?
heavier, but I think the Sharks
Yeah,
do play a very similar strategy overall, trying to hold on to the puck.
for sure. It looked a lot like. Not that I really know too much about how the LA Kings practice, and by too much I mean anything. Uh, but it really, just watching them play, it felt like they had made a concerted effort, perhaps this season, I don't know if seasons have last, to skate fast and skate as fast as they possibly could, probably all practice long. It just looked, yeah, they looked like they had been practicing skating that fast. And that's why they were skating that fast. San Jose doesn't practice skating that fast all the time. They have other gears and things to do. Perhaps that was the biggest difference in the systems I noticed, was how much the Kings' natural speed tended to be faster than San Jose.
They definitely used their speed tonight, especially early on to get them going. And by then, they were already behind the 8 ball and definitely carried a possession game big time. And
and
if
they're really
you're going to
effective
outshark the
too.
Sharks, it's kind of like that Herb Brooks thing. Sorry, Chris. It's kind of like that Herb Brooks thing. If you saw Miracle, you play the game and you shove it right into their mouth, and there you go.
Yeah, I mean, really what I was seeing early on, especially, it got better as the game went on, but the Sharks were having a lot of trouble gaining the Kings' blue line with speed. And when they did, which was not very frequently, they would usually be one and done. Like, there's some luck involved in where the puck bounces, so that's part of it. So, but they were also not winning a lot of battles along the boards too. The Kings were better at clogging up the neutral zone and winning the battle on the boards, which left them to a handful of one and dones and the occasional second chance early. It got better as the game went on, but really that was what it was. And a lot of it is the Sharks, their breakout tended to be kind of on the slower side. Like, they would get the puck back, and then by the time they pass it up to the neutral zone, there's already 4 or 5 Kings in the neutral zone clogging it up and making it really hard for them to get a good entry, as opposed to the Kings were turning it around and getting like really dangerous 2-on-2s and 2-on-1s and all that back the other way early. And that's going to put you on your heels pretty fast.
Well, kudos to the Kings coaching staff for figuring out the little soft underbelly of the Sharks system. You're all geniuses.
Well, I think everyone knows it. It's just a matter of you can do it. If you're executing better, you can do it. I think that's really what it was. The Kings executed better. I think they were fresher and they executed better early. See if there's anything in the chat here. They're asking if Slushy's drunk. Like, he better not be. Dude, you're 13. You better not be drunk.
13. You better not be drunk, dude.
Pucknology After Dark does not endorse 13-year-olds drink. Absolutely not. Yeah.
No. But again, it's how you get a jump start on things, and unfortunately, when you're lethargic and you only have 12 shots on goal after 2 periods, I mean, that right there is a red flag. Go ahead, Rocket.
Lethargic?
Well, I mean, 12 shots on goal through 2 periods. It just didn't seem like their heads were in the game. It's like they knew that Selena Gomez is going to be at their after party tonight.
I don't think it was a head in
the game. By head in the game, I think you mean stick on the puck, because that's what they didn't have. And you can't make shots if you don't have the puck to shoot.
That is a profound truth. I don't know. And I was going a little back and forth with Gen X about this on Twitter. Like, I think they were engaged in the game. I don't think it was an issue of effort or engagement. And I've said this 100 times. If you selectively choose when to be engaged, you're not going to win many games. You just aren't. And it's teams that do that are usually at the bottom of the pile. So I don't think it was a engagement thing as much as it was their execution wasn't crisp. And the Kings are still a dangerous team. Like for all, they've fallen from grace a bit, but they still have Doughty, they still have Kopitar, and as much as I hate him, Dustin Brown still is a factor. There's a lot of guys on the team who are very good. So I think it was a little bit of tiredness, a little bit of lack of execution, and a little bit the Kings just. I mean, they look like they wanted it early. Like and I hate they wanted it more, but they looked like they were trying to take it hard to the Sharks early, and the Sharks managed to weather the storm to some extent, but unfortunately ended up giving up a goal.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know. See if there's any, if you have any comments on your takes, put them in the chat or tweet them at us. We're happy to take comments and questions. I know we're probably going to have a few people jumping on here soon to talk about the end of 2016 and what a terrible year it's been for everyone but the Sharks.
Yeah.
I mean, since I think we probably pretty well covered the game, because I mean, there's only so much we can talk about this. In the end, they won 8 out of the last 10. So hey,
So
and speaking of hey,
here's my hot take. My hot take is if Dell would have been benched last night and Jones would have played the Flyers last night, he would have won tonight because he would have still been warm and everything. He got too cold, and that's why he flubbed tonight. So yeah,
literally, you cannot not start Jones. That's literally what it is. And hey, now I see AJ jumping on here.
Hi, AJ. I
think we're gonna start out with a little 2016 member berries. And he's showing off the brand here.
Showing off the merch.
Hey now.
Wow, that was fast.
Right?
Kidding.
Hey now.
I put that together on what?
Tuesday.
Tuesday, and you didn't do rush shipping or anything, did you?
Do you have the?
It's coming out of Henderson. It's coming out of Henderson, Nevada, bro.
Ah, that's what I'm talking about.
Everything's shaking there.
Well, AJ, quick thought on what you saw tonight, I guess.
I'm not going to say anything that you guys didn't already mention. I mean, they looked tired. They looked ready to put 2016 in the rear view. I mean, that was pretty much it. They did score on the power play tonight, didn't they?
Yes, they did. So unfortunately, you can't beat that drum tonight. That's two nights in a row. You can't beat the drum.
Right. So I mean, at least there was that. At least Thornton got a nice little slam on Dustin Brown, kind of like that one's for you, Tomash. But it happened, and you know what? Get them again on Tuesday. Get them back, and basically it's all a wash.
Yeah, make it all better. Question for the chat: what do you all think of the Donskoy, Couture, and Meyer line?
Oh.
I saw a lot. I mean, I constantly saw a lot of jump. Donskoy is always the guy that kind of jumps out at you whenever he's playing at all. Couture obviously is awesome. I don't know. I would want to see more if I say like it's the best thing ever, but they look solid to me. I mean, didn't really like stand out in any way, like negatively, obviously, and looked pretty good for the most part. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I like LeBanc playing with Meyer and Couture.
Yeah.
But then it's kind of like, but you can't, Donskoy, maybe you, I think he's definitely made a name, or at least the effort is there to be on the second line, but it's, roll 3 lines. Hey, let's put Pavelski back at center on the third line, right? Remember that? That worked.
And Brent Burns forward. And
exactly.
And speaking of things we should leave in 2016.
Exactly. I thought we left that in 2015. And actually,
I was going to say,
Rob Humphrey asking on the chat, where do you get one of these 6 shirts, Puck Guy?
We're working on the link. I will have that on Tuesday.
So follow him if you are not already following him on Twitter, and you will probably see it. We should probably start putting it in the description of these videos as well. But for those who are on audio only, AJ is rocking a sweet Pucknology After Dark shirt, and you should buy one. They're awesome. Designed by Puck Guy himself.
Right.
Yes.
Wish I would have had it for the game last night, but it's all good.
So, I think we've beaten the game pretty well.
Plastic. Ian Reed in the chat says plastic to forward.
and Billy's saying brawn to forward. Everybody to that's Oprah. Everybody to forward.
Very good.
That's right. We're
Yes,
just
Martin
gonna
Jones,
five
Martin Jones
forwards
to
on this.
forward, Aaron Dell to forward.
Yeah.
Troy Grosnick, wing.
We need to spell Jones with Haley and net.
And celebrating New Year's Eve off right, Laurel dropped the ban hammer. It wasn't a timeout. It was the ban hammer. And AO asking if the shirt's going to be like $25.99. Yeah, it was somewhere in there. And I mean,
gotta pay those kids in China,
Exactly. So yeah, that's about what it was. I forget the company. Like Eric said, we'll have something posted on
What day
sometime
was
next
it?
week. That I ordered the shirt.
Yeah, was it Tuesday the 27th?
I'd have to look it up. Might have been Wednesday.
No, I think it was. Yeah, actually, it might have been Wednesday because we made I did the design after the show on after the Anaheim game.
Yeah, like you literally just posted that in the thing, and I looked at it, and then AJ already has what? Damn, AJ, fast man.
Yeah, it's the 27th.
Yeah,
So that was pretty good.
On the subject of the current year and all that stuff, maybe we should just do a quick personal member berries thing. Your favorite memories of 2016 as a Sharks fan, and we obviously all have the Don Skoy goal and the Western Conference Finals. When we knew we were going to the finals and all that. But more individual, personal ones. What were some of your favorite experiences of 2016? I don't know, AJ, you want to start?
No, I don't. But no, just letting you know, I actually have the email here that says order was received 5 a.m. on December 29th.
Damn.
So, right?
Damn.
I told you that. Well, that's what happens when you're dealing with a company that's in Henderson, Nevada, bro. But
Nice.
Rocket, go ahead, do your member berries.
Okay, so
Remember Don Skoy?
No, when I first started doing this whole hockey thing, I picked basically like the worst year that this franchise had in 10 years. I didn't know any better. I was like, these guys are cool, and everyone was like, we suck, and I'm like, no, these guys are actually pretty cool. And so I guess my memory from 2016 is that was my genuinely my first experience with playoffs. And how it's true, playoffs is completely different. It's so much different. So yeah, like that was being my first playoffs is probably one of my favorite memories.
Eric, got some member berries for us?
Oh boy.
Not too much. We don't need to get it.
No, because then we need to break out sad dog faces. Joe Pavelski.
Wrong song, dumbass. But go ahead.
It was Sarah McLachlan.
Yeah,
It's
still the wrong
Sarah
song,
McLachlan.
it's still the wrong song. But go
Still
ahead.
the wrong song. I don't care. They could be in Arms of the Angel, and we'll remember them.
Oh shit! Hurry up, Dad's coming.
Oh crap. Joe Pavelski. I mean, the little black cat of the Shark Tank. How that whole thing got going. It was crazy. And then
Awesome. Black cats matter.
And in the end, the little gal gets adopted along with one more by the Marlowe family. And that was pretty fun. But of course, I'll never forget being with all you guys May 25th after we clinched it. I mean, we did
infamous
a
3-hour show.
Infamous 3.5 hour post game where we had literally everybody come on. I mean, that was
the Emmy Awards show. Oh,
right.
We just went on and on and on and talked, and it was a lot of interesting stuff in there too in that 3 hours.
Yep.
No, seriously.
Hockey jerk.
Yo,
give us some member berries here.
What do you think about that, Hockey Jerk?
What do I think about what? That's an obvious inside joke.
Your take.
Yeah, right.
That
Members.
was a Pucknologist joke, but go ahead.
And real quick
Ha-
before
you
he
ha-
goes, if you're in the chat, toss some of your member berries into the chat for us, and we'll try to read some of them.
Ooh, AO says the after dark shows.
Ooh,
Oh, Dad's here.
Oh,
Good people.
Dan's here. Calm down. Be cool, man. Be cool.
hide the liquor. Hey, Ian. We were not talking about you, nor were
That's
we.
fine.
Nothing.
Nothing.
But hockey jerk, you want to go?
Ian still has chomp box hangover.
Yeah. So many member berries. Member Game 6 against St. Louis. Member fan appreciation. I member. No, but just the whole year was really good. Really good being a Sharks fan. I mean, this year was the year that I got to know all of you lovely people, and those of you who aren't here right now, you know who you are. Yeah, fuck those guys. No, but but they're okay. I don't know. I can't really pick one moment. It was just a really good year, at least for myself. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, it was hard to pick one moment because it was like one long moment of the entire playoffs. Like it's not over yet. It's still not over. It's like it just kept going. Like, well, keep having fun. Ian, you wanna actually real quick before you go, Felix in the chat, definitely Game 6 was his favorite member berry. Tyler Gong, the home opener of the season, the atmosphere was awesome. And then Hackle said witnessing Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals. Yeah, I think that's going to be the popular answer here because that was one of the biggest moments in franchise history, if not the biggest.
Chris singing 22 better than Taylor Swift.
Oh yes, that was a member berry right there. Game 5 versus the Kings from Sharky with two eyes. Speaking of which, we haven't seen Crispy Churro with the 0 in a long time.
True.
And a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Best member of the playoffs when we owned Rene and made him rage. Yes, him breaking his stick and going all just
Lumberjack.
berserk on it. That was fantastic. All right, Ian.
I mean, I could talk about like cool Sharks memories, but I like talking about my favorite subject, which is myself. Actually, no. I just like the strides we've taken as a group over the last year. I think that's really my highlight. I mean, obviously the Sharks doing well helps that because it makes people more interested, and the Sharks doing good, as I always say. But I think just what we've accomplished together over the last year, really, we took it from 5 people watching a night, and now there's 31 people watching right now, and our subscribers have jumped over 100 new subscribers over the last year, and we've branched out into different we got so big we had to make different podcasts. So
yeah,
how's that for awesome?
No, that's really good. I mean, I'm looking in the chat here. Kevin Lacey, 2016, the playoff LED bracelets.
Introducing
those are pretty
turtlenecks
cool.
to the writers' room.
Yeah.
A convenient plug for the writers' room. Some
Yep.
people have some happy member berries about Ian's lovely show on. Is it Sunday nights now, Ian? Or
Yes, Sunday
Sure.
night.
Sunday nights,
the
not on this channel, but on a different channel. Just search Pucknology Writers Room in the little search bar above my head up there.
Right.
Sleepy Mofo saying his member berry being the Pucknologist jinxing Timo with the hashtag Timonucleosis.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yes.
I liked it. New show next Wednesday, by the way.
And I like seeing on delay. I just saw myself pointing up to the box like nailed it.
Nailed it.
Very good.
Yeah. No. I mean, we could go onward about beating LA in Game 5. That was huge to get over that hump. The ups and downs of the Nashville series. That whole series against St. Louis. I mean, I think all of us felt like, oh my God. I think when they won Game 3 at home, you felt that momentum shifting and there was that hope. And then my gosh, the whole Jonas Donskoy goal in the cup final, that was insane. I almost jumped into my pool after that scored.
Especially if you heard the Finnish call at the time.
Oh yeah. The I forget who was it? The just blanking on the name of the language right now.
Finnish?
Not Finnish. No, the Indian guy who did the other
Punjabi guy.
Punjabi.
Punjabi. That's right. Yeah, I was trying to remember what the language was. But yeah, the Punjabi call of Donskoy was also pretty good too. It's Donskoy. That was hella good too.
Nice.
Unfortunately, there weren't a lot of great memories in the cup final. That was one of the good ones. But yeah, I think for me it was the Western Conference final because it was like, holy shit, they're actually going to do it. Like,
Yeah.
Honestly, I felt like it after game one. I was actually pretty confident. I had the unpopular opinion at that moment, but it was the next two games were awesome, and that entire series was great. Just watching the boat race.
If I remember correctly, there's an asshat on this program that actually said LA would win that series this year.
I did. Yeah, I did. I did say that.
And there's an asshat on this program also right here that also said the Blues would win. I changed my mind pretty quick, but yeah. I got roped into saying 22
You
for
know
that
what
one.
though? But Landy's still a fucking idiot. So
Hey,
Wow.
there we go.
I remember watching Game 5 against the Blues, and I remember seeing the final score, and my thought was like, "Oh my God, it's happening! It's really happening."
Yeah, it took a while. For me, my member berries. Besides to answer Rob's question in the chat, this would be Ballast Point victory at sea. Brought to you by Ballast Point. My member berries.
Seriously endorse this, guys.
Yeah. For the most part, pretty much like all my member berries from all of last season, all through the Stanley Cup run and everything, you can find at pucknology.net. But hi, little plug there. I mean, last season was pretty awesome, especially now. Remember, do we all remember the first game of 2016 that the Sharks played, getting absolutely just bent over by Winnipeg?
Yeah.
So, that's how 2016 didn't start the best for the Sharks. Didn't end the best with tonight. But so far, just the fact that it was an incredibly short summer. This is the first time where there was a year of me watching sports that I didn't get sick of baseball because I wasn't able to watch a whole lot of baseball because there was a lot more hockey to watch that I was interested in. But so far this season, I mean, it's been fun. The opening night, the Tiburones jersey giveaway was pretty fun. The Sharks mashup jersey was pretty fun. Seeing LeBanc get seeing prospects, seeing guys getting called up that are actually doing something and contributing. It just seems like forever since we've seen that. Seeing Myers, his first shot is his first goal, and it's a game winner. Being there for the 1,000th win at the Shark Tank for the 1,000th win in franchise history. Little things like that. That was awesome, man. So
Jumbo Joe climbing the list.
Yeah. So I mean, it just did tons of stuff. So hey, it's all good.
I'm with a lot of you. It's hard to pick one moment for my member berry, but I think my favorite one was Game 7 against the Preds, mostly because I got to be there in person. Thanks to Chris, I think that was Christine who gave me those tickets. I went to Game 5 and Game 7 in that series, thanks to Christine and Chester, and that was Game 7 was awesome because it felt like we were in control the entire time. It was like, we're going to the Western Conference Finals this year.
Let me just give you a quick member berry because it's actually pretty funny. I would actually put last night's game against the Flyers in my member berry, and see there's things that you remember about like the Sharks and what they did and how they played or whatever, but then there's like your experiences, whether different events, whatever happened. And no, last night I would put as a member berry just because Eric and I met up with what is he, like a social media relations kind of dude?
Patrick Cooper.
There you go. Well, I didn't want to actually name names, but okay. Anyway, so Ian will be editing this out later. So the funny part is that this guy was kind of we were talking to him about a social media night thing in the future and some different ideas, and he takes us up into the rafters, and Mama Janny on Twitter, way too excited to see us. Shalana Goldman, way too excited to see us. And then like Randy giving me a fist bump. Kevin Kerr's giving me a fist bump. I swear to God, there was somebody else we ran into up there.
You're like a celebrity, AJ.
No.
True.
This Eric got
the same love.
Yeah,
fact,
he got all the same love. But the fact that this guy brought us into this area where, to him, I don't know, he just had a little bit of an air to him, and maybe that's me like not reading the situation correctly. But as this was supposed to be very impressive to us, and any time you're up in there, it is pretty impressive. But I think he was blown away by the amount of people who knew who we were, and there's no way to say that without sounding like, like.
Do you know who I am, bitch?
Exactly.
Do you know who I am?
Good for you.
It was.
But that was the funny part.
Yeah, it was really funny because we're talking to the person in charge of the Sharks Twitter. And we're talking, and all of a sudden we see Janice peek over, and she's like, "You." And meanwhile, Shalane is walking by, and she's like, "Hey, I miss you guys. What do you guys do? Where have you guys been? What are you guys doing up here?" And then all of a sudden, Brody comes out, and Kurz comes out. We're waving to Randy. I think even Ross McCune looked and waved a little bit. It was funny. And then, the funny thing is also I saw John Wald, who does stuff for Sharks Magazine, and we're talking and everything. And it's like, and the guy goes to me and he's like, "Wow, you guys know a lot of people." It's like, "Yeah, we do." we connect on our show.
So tying directly out of that general idea actually is, we think Ian was talking about what a big year this has really been for Pucknology and the show and everything. It's where it's gone from, pretty small that's gotten a lot bigger. Part of that also is, we've had some fantastic guests. Yeah. And like we've gotten taken semi-seriously by people. I mean, that's pretty amazing. I mean, we've had Jamie Baker, Jeff Merrick, Dan Rosnowski. You sat down with him. I'm trying to remember who else.
Brody Brazil.
Brody Brazil, of course.
Brody multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt Salmon from the Tampa Bay Lightning. Like he's like a legitimate person who like actually give it the time of day. Like a couple guys. Kurt Price from Let'sGoBlues.com. Who else?
Didn't we bring in a couple of guys from Match? Didn't we bring? Yeah, I was gonna say we brought in some guys from the Preds.
Chris, aka 3D Link from Preds Cast. They're the SB Nation affiliate.
Don't forget the mayor.
Oh, John. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the mayor.
I think there's a couple people on this show who are trying to forget about the mayor.
Jenny Hockey, who is kind enough to join us. I haven't seen her around in a while. I hope.
Agenda, yes.
What happened to her? You would think, especially after an LA game, we'd hear from her.
She hasn't been on Twitter in a long time. Actually, I got messaged by someone asking if I knew anything. I'm like, dude, I don't live anywhere near California. Don't look at me.
Oh, the other person we should mention, Mofo mentioning, John Totoro was nice enough to sit down with the Pucknologists at the beginning of the season, and I actually spoke with him last night, and he's ready to go for a follow-up interview. So hopefully we'll get that in the can in the next couple of weeks.
We were trying to figure out what can of like spray tan Doug Wilson likes, and then once we figure that out so we can gift that to him, we might get him on the show.
Right?
Imagine that's in the white elephant gifts, the Sharks thing.
Oh, dear God. Nothing sets off an orange jersey like a white fucking turtleneck.
And with that, we say hello to Kevin Lacey.
I mean, if you're listening to this audio only, you should really go and look up the video right now. Go search it on YouTube and find it, because honestly, this is just,
crap, that is orange.
The last time Kevin came on without a turtleneck on After Dark, he got yelled at. So I'm glad that he took that. He took it to heart.
And by the
Got
way,
his shit together.
I was actually like in my shark sweatshirt, just relaxing and stuff. And then when you guys sent me the link, what was taking me so long to join was because I was putting all my stuff back on just for you,
Right.
AJ.
It's like your superhero cape. I mean, really.
Well, you know
Straight
what? Give it up to him for wearing the orange sweater tonight, because the Barracuda finally wore their orange sweaters tonight. I don't think any of them wore turtlenecks with them, but they did wear the orange tonight. And all I got to say, you tell me that you're going to wear that outfit, and I look at you and I say, yep.
Yep. They finally wore the orange and they won, and it was awesome. It was so good.
Awesome.
Yep.
You know what? Now, dude, now, fuck. Puck guy, dude, I'm sorry, but now you're like on the hook. You got to find a shirt company that can put this together, but in a turtleneck.
Trent, I'm actually on it right now.
Yes.
If I could get Pucknology right here,
Wow.
and then just Kevin just buys like 10 of them, we'll be set for the rest of the season. We'll be set.
And all that money from Audible, that sweet Audible money, was just gravy at that point.
They had hats too, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I would do this logo on a hat.
Yeah, that would be cool, actually. Yeah.
In not to go too behind the scenes, but I wanted to see what that turned out to look like, because I wasn't sure if we would go with this one company, but we'll see. Definitely, it'll be out soon for sure.
Yeah, we got to just lock in the right company and
Exactly.
have it. No, and let's be honest, we need to get a Lacey turtleneck that says hashtag we are all Kevin Lacey right at the neckline.
Dude, I am
Thing
so
we need like
gonna
stickers
rock
with all
that.
our various memes and stuff on them. AJ, it's good for you, and
Yes.
Why do
I
y'all have
assume
to
mine
get
would
him
be
full
saying that
on
to my
turtlenecks,
doggy
though?
face.
How come you can't just get him Dickies? This little turtleneck with the.
That's it. Someone mute her.
Hey. Hold on. Okay, no. So everybody gets their hashtag. So Lacey's is we are all Kevin Lacey.
Mhm.
Let's see. What
Say
Chris?
that to my
Should I
doggy
write
face.
these now?
Yeah, Chris is say that to my doggy face, and then you motherfucker. That can be a double hashtag. Rockets has something to do with half chubs and quarter chubs. What would your hashtag be, Rocket?
I still think it would be 1-900 hockey.
Oh yes,
I agree. Yes.
absolutely that. I think we would all agree that mine would probably be hashtag oh good for you.
Ian would be
Yeah, Ian's would be hashtag
fuck that guy.
hashtag fuck that guy. Hockey jerk clearly being hashtag oh shit, what was
What do
it?
I think about
It would
what?
be it would have
No.
to be hashtag hot take central.
No,
Yeah.
no, it wasn't that. I
Hashtag
had
merp,
one.
merp, merp.
There you go. Okay, I would take that. There was one other one though. Oh, I can't remember. It might honestly, hockey jerks very well maybe hashtag fuck you AJ.
Hey, you can't even say that on the Pucknologist.
I'm still
Thank
trying
you.
to
Billy
still
Estrom in the chat telling me what my hashtag is, and he's right. It's Vernon.
see if Pucknologists wasn't if it wasn't TV 14 rating, then we would totally have a segment. It would be jerking off with Hockey Jerk, and it would just be me
Jerking around.
spewing hot
Hashtag
takes.
skeet.
We're still gonna find a way to put that together. I'm telling you.
Shit.
Like once a year, we're gonna have like the Blue Show, where it's just like nothing's off limits, and it's like this is the one time, and a whole shit ton of like
two-stroke.
Two-stroke.
yeah, but a whole shit ton of like listener discretion advised. Oh my
Really?
god.
Billy's got it down for Puck Guy. Hashtag
Yeah,
bacon
good
and pie.
hashtag
Yes.
bacon and pie.
Yeah, that's good. I thought it would be
Although
hashtag
I
did
think
someone say Vancouver?
Yes.
Yeah, that would be his tag.
Did somebody say Vancouver?
I think when I go up to Vancouver, I think I might actually have that shirt, and then just have like I actually just take a picture of the meme that I have for Short House. and then everybody up in Vancouver will be like, "What are you talking about?"
We need your picture with the meme. Did somebody say Vancouver?
Yeah. I like that AO hashtag two stroke.
Two stroke might have to live on. I mean, like, it has nothing to do with Chubbs, but two strokes. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Hashtag hey now.
Shaking now.
Yeah.
Take some Sleepy Mofo. Take some teal pills for that Joner.
Hashtag your Joner should not last longer than 4 hours.
Ask your doctor if you are well enough to take Joner.
And the chat is just going crazy with that.
Laurel actually has probably the best one. Oh my.
There you go. Hashtag PD sponsored by Audible.
Truth.
Or better yet, we could go back to the preview of the year and be like, Jersey math.
Who did I steal this tweet from?
Oh.
It's the best.
Hashtag
That went too well.
hashtag chomp box. Hashtag unboxing day.
Sleepy Mofo with the best one, Chopversation. Yeah.
Oh fuck! Let that die with 2016.
Yeah, I think that one needs to stay in 2016.
No, it is
Yes,
catching
it dies tonight.
No,
You're listening to Chompnology After Dark.
Okay.
It was Chomp and New Year's Eve. Come
Take a
on.
vote.
Chomp.
I wonder if
Ian just wants to call a vote on air here. I think we're basically turning this into a giant production meeting. So
Nope. Do it. Look at this matters to the people. Damn it.
Indeed.
No, we are not letting it go. I am looking
Let's
up
let it go, dude.
GoDaddy.com. I'm
let
looking
it
at
go.
GoDaddy.com to see if Chomp.com is available.
Let it
Chomp.com
go.
is not
Shit.
available.
Damn it.
No, it's over. It's done.
Oh,
Good
out.
night, sweet prince.
no.
Hey,
Night.
I know what Gentry's hashtag.
Grabbing
Would
by
be.
the chomp.
No.
Gentry's hashtag would be hashtag Mike Sullivan.
Gentry's actually his fourth line
Rob
banger.
Humphries, who's also in the chat, had the tweet of the night. By the way, Martin Jones were to get injured. Would PDB start Dell or just play without a goalie until Jones came back?
Well, you're talking about Haley as in net, so Haley would be the next goalie.
Yeah. Or no, Burns.
The tweet of the night.
Burns. Yeah.
Cody Burns.
Oh my god. Yes. Grab him by the
No.
chump.
So I would like to screen share an image for all of you guys.
Only
So-
chomp can live on, but only if it's used in place of a curse word. You can say, "Get the chomp out of here. Go chomp yourself."
Say it to my
Chomp
dog.
conversation must die.
Yes. Say it to
Conversation dies tonight.
Take
No.
It goes. It
Yes.
dies with 2016 and all the
Yes.
awfulness that happened.
Yes.
It goes
This
with
is.
it.
I,
This
for
is
one, think Chompversation should stay.
No, you shut your mouth.
No.
Yeah. No.
You shut your whore mouth.
It doesn't. Oh, bam! And he got muted. No. Like I said, as a compromise, chomp will be used in place of a curse word, but we are not using it to like J-Lo the shit out of this, where we're just going to use it to,
So I can go
augment words that
chomp
already
you,
exist.
Chomp you, Kevin, you're cool. Chomp you, I'm out.
That's
Yeah.
fine. You can do that.
Yeah, that's acceptable.
That
Yeah,
works.
that's fine.
Kevin wanted to share.
I
So
wanna chomp you like an animal.
Well
So-
done.
How do you follow that, Kevin?
Sing break stuff
Well.
with like a chomp in there instead of curse words.
So just to sum up how awesome the Sharks 2016 is here. When I make my so-called Pucknology debut just about a year ago, I shared this image with those of you on the panel. This was from something that I drew up from the Sharks versus the Blackhawks, where the Sharks had absolutely nothing going for them at that point of the season in 2015. And it shows the Blackhawks decide to, shoot the puck, and the Sharks just pass. Well, who represented the Western Conference in the Stanley Cup Finals? That team that was passing and finally figured it out. So 2016, the year that the Sharks finally figured it out.
Absolutely.
Can we also mention how
Indeed.
awesome it is that Kevin is like has the Vlasic jersey hanging behind him, like in memoriam.
So, gonna pose a question to everybody here, and we'll kind of go around. So, we probably don't want to go more than about another 15 minutes or so.
Sure
'Cause
we do.
We're getting
We're
close.
We're going 45 minutes, asshole. Another
We may do
45.
way after dark, but I actually have to do something at midnight. But
Taking it up to midnight.
Whoa.
Are you gonna
Yeah.
turn into a
Whoa.
pumpkin?
yeah, I turn into a pumpkin, man.
He's going to take it way,
I'm
way,
the one,
way after.
I think I'm wearing orange. I'm the pumpkin here, guys. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. No, gonna pose a question
Oh,
though. So,
boy.
I remember some people were talking about how roughly a year and a half ago, a lot of us were on the fire Doug Wilson bandwagon. I'll say I think I was wrong. Going around the horn, were we too harsh, or what's your take on it now with hindsight going back to then? I don't know. AJ, you want to start?
I would have said we were too harsh if the Botker signing hadn't happened. Now, now I'm kind of like, boy, nah. No, he saved himself. The rebuild. He saved himself. But this is the thing where I'm going to give Wilson some respect is the fact that he came out and he straight up told the fans, we are going to take a step backward to take 2 steps forward. This is what needs to happen. And obviously he had put that plan in motion even earlier where you look at the Clough trade, the Douglas Murray trade, and so forth. So this had been in the pipeline for a while. So I'm not on the fire Doug Wilson train anymore. I am on the fire these scouts that look at these defensive players that they're not able to draft and develop. But other than that, Doug Wilson, you're okay in my book. Rocket?
Yeah. What's the question?
I don't know if you were really
into
Right.
into
No.
the
Okay. So
fire
I
mode.
remember this because I didn't know because I came into it like I said, and I was like, "Yay!" and everyone else was like, "Oh my god," and Ian included. And I was like, "Ian, should we be angry about this?" He's like, "Well, yes." And I'm like, "Well, does he have a history of making really bad decisions?" And he goes, "Only last year. Before that, he was all right." And I'm like, "Okay, so we just give him another year before we really start blowing shit up?" And he says, "Yes." I'm like, "Okay." So he was on a short leash. He was on my shit list, but I wasn't on like the straight out fire Doug bandwagon because of what Ian said. And I trusted Ian, and hey, look how it turned out. Ian?
People want this to go to midnight, so I'm going to filibuster. I have All the Places You'll Go by Dr. Zeus.
Nice.
You don't have like another
Congratulations.
box to
Today
unopen
is
or
your day.
something?
Okay, no, I won't do this to you.
Today's your day.
No, look at yeah, I didn't completely lose hope, but I think at the time when people were angry at Doug Wilson, they had every right to be. I mean, because I feel like it's interesting how like with all the things he said that year, obviously the things that kind of turned out to be true are the ones that stuck. But I thought the message changed a lot that year, where it was like, oh, this is a playoff team. Oh, you got to take a step back to go forward. Fans should have been pissed off. They basically, what did they do? They signed John Scott and they didn't really do much else. And
let's not forget the whole incident with Jumbo.
Yeah, and then you have the whole thing with Jumbo. I think there was obviously a rift between T-Mac. I mean, there's so much that happened that year, but it's hard to as much. I'm obviously winning the cup is the ultimate goal, and we all get that, and we all agree. But at the same time, it's also hard to turf a guy that's basically put you in the playoffs 10 years in a row. Also. For maybe not winning it all, but the Sharks fans have been spoiled with a lot of fucking winning. Yeah, maybe we didn't have the peaks and valleys of other teams like a Chicago or an LA, and so it's kind of like choose your poison, because you could also be Edmonton that just valley, and maybe they finally hit a peak some points in the future, but I wouldn't put my money on it anytime soon. So in conclusion, yeah, I think fans had the right to be pissed off at the time, and I think that fans that were calling for his head when they were calling for his head, they had the right to be angry. But right now, he continues to do a mediocre job.
Well, and let's be honest, in just about any other sport, if you go to the playoffs 10 years in a row, you don't win the brass ring, and then the following year you are unceremoniously trounced, just about every other sport and just about every other club in the NHL would have fired him.
Yeah, there's definitely good argument for that. Eric, what do you think in retrospect? Oh, we have two Erics now.
Oh,
Hashtag AOL. I mean, it wouldn't be a show if we didn't mention AOL.
Hashtag 2 Erics.
Ooh.
No,
Ericception.
seriously, my computer, and we've actually figured this out now. It's the computer that's doing this because obviously I wouldn't be able to talk to you on the phone. Yeah, back to what you guys are doing.
Okay, if you want, we were talking about the fire Doug Wilson thing in retrospect, and what our thoughts are on that now, and asking, were we too harsh? Were we right about something, wrong about others? What's your take? Because I know you were opinionated on that.
I was a little iffy on it, and yes, he's done a great job, and he's picked up the key free agents. He's got a lot of contracts coming up at the end of this season and next season, with the Burnsy contract kicking in, and you have Logan and Pavs at $6 million and Bodker at $4 million, because you're going to also have to figure out, not this year, but the following off season, you have to figure out where Vlasic will be and where you'll be with both goaltenders, because Martin Jones and Aaron Dell will both be unrestricted free agents. So
Jones getting paid.
does that come at a cost of Patty and Joe? Or
It
Patty
should,
and
at some
or
point.
Joe?
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to be around forever.
It should at
Have
some
you
point,
ever
but-
seen the movie Old Yeller?
So something real quick, Sleepy Mofo actually makes a really good point in the chat. Brian Sabian, actually, that's a pretty good example of someone who was tenured. I mean, he was tenured for 17 years before the Giants won a World Series. Now, they won 3 cents, but he went 17 years, so
Sorry,
he
Gen
had
X.
a lot less success. Yeah, sorry, Gen X. We just mentioned another sport.
It happens. I liked Villy in the chat recommending Rocket Backhander be the next GM.
Oh God, I can't. I know.
And I'd be GM by proxy. Perfect.
Yeah, that's true. Because
I would love. Oh man, I got a great line to say, but I don't think I can say it on air, so I'll let it go.
I like
After
Sleepy.
dark.
Is it okay?
I don't know.
Okay. Well,
I like Sleepy Mofo's other comment about how would our stance be if Doug Wilson decides to re-sign Patrick Marleau in the offseason. Is everyone just going to flip
Depends
the
on how
script
much.
again and be like, fire him, fire him,
yeah,
fire him?
depends on term.
Depends on
and
the term
contract.
and who you're giving up to sign them.
Yep.
Yeah, if he somehow manages to re-sign him to a bunch of money and keep everyone else, well, I don't know about the term or any of that, but at least he, yeah.
I'm down with Rocket being it because I want to see every transaction for the Sharks start off with, okay, this is what we're gonna do.
No, it would be more like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Firstly, would anybody like a cookie?
Cookie. Every meeting with cookies.
2% milk. 2%
Jerky jerk.
Aggressive trait here. Anybody who got snacks?
You know what?
I don't want anybody hangry. That's the last thing I want.
Sleepy Mofo clearly trying to pick a fight with Rocket in the chat, saying, "I hope Dylan is picked up by Las Vegas."
A lot of people feel that way though, and to be honest, like he wouldn't be a bad pickup for them. He's got a little bit of upside still before he, kind of plateaus.
Young, he's got a decent. I mean, it's not the best contract in the world, but it's not the worst.
It's not the worst. I frankly would like it if Mueller got picked up, but that's just me.
No, not just you.
Yeah, let's not get too much into that because we'll have plenty of we've done that many times. Jerky jerk. What's your take on the Doug Wilson question?
He did a lot of questionable things that season. I mean, John Scott and the whole Joe Thornton spat and all of that stuff. But
you can talk shit about John Scott, dude. He's a fucking motherfucking all-star MVP.
Yeah, Doug Wilson was trying to bring in an all-star here.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
do I know?
I mean, I feel like, and I think Chris brought it up earlier, Sharks fans are really spoiled with the amount of winning that they've done in the last little while. Whoever it was.
Absolutely.
There's so many of us on here. I can't pay attention.
Are y'all sick of winning yet?
Hey, hang on, I'm getting there.
I never get to winning.
So, like, Sharks fans are very spoiled about winning. They think the team should go 82-0 every year. He said we would have to take a step back, and we took a step back. I mean, you can't say that you were surprised by it.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, I guess, but even then, all of the good things he did this year and the past summer I think it kind of rectified that stuff. As far as I'm concerned, I would say he's broken even between the good and the bad.
I'd give him 60-40, but I don't know that you could say that the fans could be surprised about the year, because remember, go back and look, and I know fucking Puck Guy is going to be like, oh shit, hell yeah. Do you remember that after the 2015 and they got knocked out of the playoffs, or I'm sorry, that they didn't, it was the first time in 10 years they didn't make the playoffs? Do you remember every time they spoke with Doug Wilson, how he constantly brought up the end of January where they beat in consecutive games Anaheim, LA, and Chicago? Doug Wilson was beating that drum 20 times the amount I bang on the special teams drum.
True.
And then it was the February implosion where I think they won 3 games in the entire month of February, and none of them were on home ice.
Yeah,
But
So
it
was that whole implosion.
That team though from the start wasn't constructed very well, so it's not like they would have done well in the playoffs had they made it.
Blame Nemo.
Yeah.
That's the truth. I mean, their bottom 6 was a freaking atrocity. The defensive core was questionable, and the goaltending was questionable.
Chris's hashtag tire fire.
But
tire fire 2015.
Talking about GMs and new hires and all of that stuff, really, I would send Ian Reed and I to Las Vegas. Let us loose on that. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, with Brody Brazil. And Sleepy Mofo pointing it out. I like it. So you're not spoiled if you don't win the cup. I like that.
Yeah, I wish we could be that spoiled. Kevin Lacey, what are your thoughts on this question before we wrap up?
I wasn't on the Fire Wilson bandwagon to begin with, so I didn't exactly like everything that he did, but I don't know. He's fine for me. I thought that AO brought up a good point that I've now already forgotten. But AO, you brought up a good point about Doug Wilson earlier.
That point, it was a great point, bro.
It was, but yeah, it's already. But yeah, Doug Wilson, it's.
Was it if you pair Doug Wilson, you replace him with the
I
almighty?
get worried about who he could be. No, it wasn't that one. It was something else.
Oh.
But I get worried about who he would be replaced with if he were to be fired. I mean, outside of Dale Talon, I can't think of anybody that would be a better choice.
I don't know. See, I think
nobody involved in the Canucks franchise. I'm
yeah.
See, and I get that, because obviously you want to go with the known, and I get that, obviously you want the known guy, but I wish hockey would get out of this fucking old boys club bullshit, because I would rather have some unknown guy come in that's done really well in a lower league, rather than some retread of hey, let's bring in Dale Talon, let's bring
Ian, I totally get what you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying, but there is the flip side to that argument. There was a coach.
Look at Florida right now. They got rid of Talon and got Tom Rowe. Sorry, AJ.
No, funnily enough, speaking of Florida, but different sport,
Okay.
there were, and Chris is probably going to be able to help me out on this, or Eric. There was a college football coach, I believe, in Florida that just won
Saban?
all
Steve
the
Spurrier?
fucking time. There you go.
Spurrier, okay.
Spurrier, just fucking won all the time, won shit tons of games, was constantly asked, when are you going to go to the pros? Imagine the success you would have in the pros, and blah, blah, blah. Finally, after what seemed, I don't know, 2.5 decades, he finally makes the jump, and he goes to the Redskins, and I think he lasted for a season and a half. I mean,
he went to the Redskins.
Now, okay,
that organization is a tire fire.
Yeah, well, it was. They did all right this season. I think a lot of it had to do with
Last
getting
year.
RG3 the hell out of there. But either way, though, there are
Sorry, Gen
people
X.
that there are people that have gotten that call, or that somebody has kind of thought outside the box and not gone with look at the Sharks. I mean, they basically tried to kind of pilfer Detroit 8 years ago, and it's like, yeah, let's get McClellan out of Detroit and do it's usually let's get the assistants on a winning club. It's not bad, but it is rare, like Ian was saying, and I do wish that somebody would kind of breathe some fresh air into this. And it's like, let's go with something that's kind of outside the box. Let's who's coaching, the Russian team. I mean, just go way outside the box.
I think there's just people out there that should probably get a look, and yeah, it might blow up in your face, but I mean, you could bring in a retread and that could also blow up in your face. So I mean, I'd be a little more comfortable with the unknown than the GM that's been there for 100 years.
Ian, that's a good point though, because look at Columbus, Jarmo Kekalainen. He was only a scout, and then now he's leading a team that has a 15-game winning streak.
There you go.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
Can Eric dude, we were just tweeted by Laurel. I love that. If you can figure out a way to post that, and I doubt that you can without putting on huge bars on the side. It's just awesome that she tweeted Ian Reed's office 1 year ago and Ian Reed's office today. It's a year ago, there's one tiny little sign in the background.
Very good.
I'll have to retweet that.
To wrap up the Wilson topic here, I said I was on the Fire Wilson bandwagon to the extent I think I got in more than a few arguments because I could also see the case for keeping him. That long-term success, he had some mistakes, but he had done probably way more good than bad. And I think my take was, okay, if you're going to keep him, short leash, and this better work or else. And it seemed like it's worked. I mean, he's obviously made some mistakes since then, but here's the thing: the best GM will still make tons of mistakes. That's just if very, very few GMs in any sport can you go through their record and not find a bunch of bad. I mean, Brian Sabian, who we just mentioned earlier, Barry Zito, anyone?
Yeah, but you know what? No.
They brought
Barry
him in.
Zito.
He had his
Barry
moment, but that was a
Zito.
terrible contract.
But
No,
it was one of the worst contracts ever, and he was essentially paid an ass load of money to have one really good run in October of 2012.
Yeah.
Okay, when are we going to stop talking about billiards?
Okay.
Good
Well,
point.
really, I think we need to get around to final thoughts here because I got to get out of here in about 5 minutes.
Time
So,
for Puck Guy's stellar production graphics over here now.
okay.
Yeah,
Go, Eric.
so because my internet is decided to die, here's how I'm going to present the standings right now. A 2-point lead, although they have a huge lead in rows over everybody in the division. Anaheim at 44, Calgary at 42, LA leapfrogs Dallas. They're at 40. Is within 3 points of a wild card spot. So
Why is this the Blair Witch Project?
they're
Sorry.
Because my internet died just a moment ago.
And now the Blair Witch Project is going to get you.
Sorry.
I'm scared.
You guys, I see playoffs.
Production value right here.
Right.
You guys,
I think Eric, I think I'm gonna hijack this from you. I think let's do final thoughts and get out of here. So,
Right.
AJ, you want to start with your final thoughts? 30 seconds or less.
you guys, if the playoffs started tomorrow, oh my god.
I hate you all.
Great final thought. Hockey jerk. Final thought for the year.
Fuck that guy. Merp. And hopefully we see Aaron Dell before next April.
Ian Reed.
Fuck that guy.
Rocket.
All right.
You
Or you
gotta
keep the streak
play a
going.
trappy system if you're, in a trappy player. Can't take average player out of the Chappie game. It's a trap.
Kevin Lacey.
I think this went actually very well for having 7 people on the panel. So good job, Pucknology After Dark.
Good job, guys.
As Eric
Yourself
is
on the
doing
back.
this, as Eric is doing this on his phone.
Eric, your final thoughts for the year.
Let's hope come February this never happens again. At least I got the microphone down pat, but yeah, nonetheless, a great 2016. Let's hope for 2017 to be bigger and better with 2 more playoff wins than we had last year.
And no conversation.
No conversation, and just all we want is 2 more playoff wins. 2 more than last year. That's all we ask. All right. So with that, we'll wrap up here. If you are new here and you listen to all this, hey, you must actually like us or something, or just hate watching it. I don't know. Either way, hit the little red button down below. Subscribe. If you're listening on audio, you can subscribe there as well. You can find us on all the audio things. And Puck Guy's trying to get me to put up the conversation graphic. Nope, not happening.
No. It's blurred out.
Not nearly enough.
I need to. We can still read it. And yeah, if you like audio only, check us out on Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iTunes, MySpace, Zanga, Adult Friend Finder, and all those great sites.
Farmers only.
Farmers
Really
only.
quick.
Christian Mingle.
Maple match.
Pucknologists, you guys have a new episode coming out next Thursday?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
We should, either very late in Wednesday evening or early Thursday morning. But yes.
And tune in for the Hockey Writers Room. Is there one tomorrow, Ian?
Yes, absolutely is. It's going to be Drew's last show before I fire him, before he can quit.
Remember Drew, guys? Drew?
Drew's moving. He's moving on to moving on to Edmonton, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
No, he's going to Carolina.
Carolina.
Kevin is going to be on the show, obviously. Drew will be on, and also Zach Devine will be on the show as well. We're going to talk about some Barracuda, some Sharks, some World Juniors. It's going to be a good show.
Awesome. And I know there's stuff about the tweet up in the works, so we won't go into that right now, but I'll probably keep an eye out for that in upcoming shows. We are also sponsored by a great, wonderful company called audible.com. You can go to audibletrial.com/PAD. You can get a free audiobook. Hey, come on. Free audiobook. What you got to lose? Go grab one of those. You help support the show. You get a free audiobook. I mean, come on. What are you waiting for? Go ahead and do that. Check it out. It's audibletrial.com/PAD. Once again, the Sharks lost tonight 3-2 to the LA Kings. And really, that's all, I think. That's everything. That's our show.
Stay tuned for After Dark.
Yes, yeah, there might be a After Dark. Tune in for that if there is.
Stay in the chat. Stay in the chat.
Okay, so there will be an After Dark. There will be an after show, an after party, or whatever you want to call it. Happy New Year, everyone. Stay safe. And keep the conversation in the current year. Good night.